What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're interacting to the penultimate episode of Summer Spider So What. This one's titled My Old Friend Why. With a title like that, I inferred that it would probably be a human episode, and judged by the fact this episode has a 3.5-star rating, yeah, it's a human episode. I genuinely wonder, okay? A lot of my audience is obviously from the West, makes sense, but I do have a relatively large Japanese following, which I guess shouldn't surprise me. I assume that the US and Japan are probably the two biggest consumers of anime media in the world. That would make the most sense to me. Yeah. But I wonder if, for the Japanese audience, if the human side is really getting as hated as what the West has. Because I think, more often than not, the Western audience will associate with the manga of a series rather than light novels. At least, that's what I would assume, anyway. So maybe there's some expectation there because of the lack of humans in the manga, from what I'm told, because I've not seen any sort of material in this series. But I wonder if that's playing into it. Obviously, the animation quality of the human side is pretty poor. I see why people complain about the overall characters of the human side not being that interesting, but the actual story element they bring with them is interesting and relevant, and I am getting some enjoyment out of that. But I wonder if Japan is necessarily as harsh in that aspect. I genuinely wonder about that. But anyway, I guess we're going to get a human episode this time, just judging by the rating. Or the animation really takes a nosedive. I mean, it could be both, let's be real. But maybe it seems more likely it's going to be human, because my old friend Wyatt, I think it's meant to be Shun and Hugo. We were old friends. What happened to you, basically? Maybe that's where they're going with it. Maybe they're going to do more. I don't know. But on Kumiko's side, we currently have her. Well, she was fighting against the Kingdom of Earths because she kind of caused the war to begin with, unintentionally, but did cause the war. And so is just using it as a way of harvesting experience, which is very, very clever. Hopefully, getting her closer and closer to her human form. And I would have assumed that this battle, before the interruption of Ariel, probably would have been her XP boost to the point where she could get to her next evolution. That's what I kind of expected. And considering how their fight kind of was cut off with Ariel firing some abyss magic at her and distracting the young Julius, who was apparently there as well, I'm going to assume that she must be very, very close to leveling up at this point. Because she had got a few more levels just to heal up while she was in that fight from taking an attack that did a lot of damage. She'd kill a couple of humans on her way past and heal up her body that way and regenerate her limbs and stuff. So I'm assuming she must be getting close to her next evolution. I think it's at least 20 levels to get to the next evolution, though, from what I've been seeing of... I think to get to this current one, she needed 20 levels instead of the 10 that she needed previously, I believe. But I'm curious if her next evolution is her human evolution or her human form, or if it's going to be one after that. I could imagine the last episode, she gets to finally evolve, and she gets on the form of probably the white girl, because that's who I suspect she'll end up being in the main series. And then Ariel, who seems to be melding with Body Brain, who went and attacked her mind after attacking Mother's mind. I imagine that will fuse and will basically have Kumiko and Body Brain, which is also Kumiko, but in a fused form with Ariel, the Demon Lord. So having the knowledge of Kumiko, but the personality and traits of the Demon Lord as well, also residing in there. So a weird mesh of the two. Because Ariel even said the desire to kill Kumiko is slowing, because you don't want to kill yourself in that instance, right? But she still wanted her revenge for what Kumiko had been doing. So that's why they ended up in their fight. But yeah, we have that fight, and we cut off right at the minute. It looks like Kumiko's going to die again, of which she won't, almost certainly, because I don't think Kumiko will solely exist as Body Brain in that instance. But I guess we'll see what ends up happening. And then we have Shun versus Hugo fight, which wasn't exactly great to begin with, but I assume we'll get more of this, and from there on, don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. But this attack on the elf village, not entirely sure why we're attacking the elf village, but it's all part of the Demon Lord's plan. I'm wondering if this is part of the Demon Lord's plan pre-Kumiko action, or if this is Kumiko's influence action from the knowledge of what's going to happen to this world. I assume it's the knowledge of the world helping out as well, from the forbidden knowledge stuff that she got about Sariella. Not Sariel, Sariella. Sariel, right, is the name of the actual god of this, well, goddess. And then Sariella is the kingdom that worships her and wants to offer skills to her. But she's also the one that bestows skills onto people. I feel like that whole skill thing probably has more relevance, and I'm still curious as to who the hell Admin D is meant to be at this point. Because Admin D was in that classroom because, well, was the target of the event that reincarnated them in the end. Although the reincarnation was just D doing something. So D has to be moderately powerful and probably not just a regular person or regular student, but I guess we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, excited for this episode, see where we leave off, like if we're going to have a major cliffhanger for the finale or what we're going to do here. I want a Season 2 announcement at the end of next week, obviously, because I'm really enjoying the series. But at the same time, I don't, because then that means there's a bit of time for another studio to pick it up, if you know what I mean. I don't know which studio would be willing to take this up, but I would like another studio to pick this up. It could have been just COVID affecting the production of this show. It's entirely possible. I mean, Japan is still in a state of emergency, or certain areas are. Or was that just, like, I know they're just about to end it, and they've got the Olympics coming up, so that's probably playing into the reason why they kind of want to be done with it already. But I can't remember if that's, like, just coming up to be ended, or if they've just announced they've ended it. I saw a news article of it, like, yesterday, saying something about the restrictions lifting, but I can't remember more than that. So it's entirely possible that COVID played an effect on this production, but I honestly think just multi-core shows for studios that aren't big, so things like A1 Pictures or Mappa or something like that. It's like none of these huge studios that you associate things with, like Shaft. I think 24 episode format is honestly a bad idea at this point. I think split core is the way to go. Like what ReZero did for Season 2 after COVID kind of forced them into that, I think it ended up working better for them. What 86 is currently doing, what Slime is currently doing. Like, I think split core is the way to go in the future. And I hope more shows actually start doing that, because it means we get 24 episodes with our shows, Mario the Patriot, for example, but it also gives the animators more time to make sure the second half of the show is actually good, because that's the problem. The first half of the show is always going to be good, but then you're getting into crunch time, and that the deadlines for the last parts of the shows are really starting to get a problem. So I think that's ultimately where I think the studio, the anime environment needs to head to if they want to have these longer form stories. I guess we'll see. Or we just need to change the practice of how anime is made in general and not have it be like, have animes actually completed before they even start airing. That would be nice, but I know that's not realistically going to happen. But some shows do it. I think Kaguya did it, right? Kaguya Season 2 was completed before the first episode even aired, right? Was it Kaguya or was it another show? I can't remember, but some studios can manage it, but not everyone. Anyway, I've rambled on for too long. As per usual, these are tire-based format reactions here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture in pitch, you can go to my Patreon down description below. £4 a month gets you access to all picture and picture reactions I do on the channel, which is everything from the current seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as World Trigger, Symphony G, or Log Crisis Season 2. We also have movie reactions. Pancreas was going to be today, but I've delayed it just because I am tired and I don't think I can sit for a 2-hour movie today and actually give it a fair crack at the whip. So we're going to move it to next week, just so we can do that. Next week should be a little bit of an easier week just in general, because some shows are starting to end and we should have a bit of an easier time. So yeah, hopefully that'll work out. But we'll still get it done this month, obviously, so it will work out. And sometime next week as well will be my spring preview video, because I want to get that out as well relatively soon. It'll probably be Monday, or let's think, what other day would it be more than likely? Monday's likely. Yeah, Monday's more likely, or the Saturday. But I will try and get it out on Monday, because that makes more sense, because that gives me a bit more time to do some preview stuff in preparation, because there are early screenings and stuff coming, so I think Monday needs to be the time I need to do it. So we'll probably do that on Monday. Anyway, here on YouTube we do time based, so bottom left of the screen you'll see a time for the episode. I count down 3 to 1 play, then play say episode, I say episode, and we should be in sync. Watch this one on Crunchyroll as per usual, since they're the ones who licensed it. No logos or anything, we're starting off with, looks like one of the characters just leaning back, horn, so I'm guessing this is demon side. But you can use screen flash on my face, the mic, or this part of my headset to tell when the scenes are transitioning. That should help you sync it up as well. So, with all that said, lengthy intro, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. Yep, there she is. Your target. Who is our target here in the Elf Village? That makes sense. We're targeting Potamus. That makes a lot of sense. He's mysterious. The fact that he survived is still surprising to me. How the hell do we have, like, CCTV? What is this? The hell is this? Weird. Very sci-fi. Yeah, he knows who it is. Does he actually not know? Serve their purpose. Huh? What are we deploying? Okay. No holding back. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Sure. Oh, it's mecha? OP time. But okay, we have mecha anime now. Sure. I really like this OP. The second half OP has really grown on me over time. Yeah, why are we mecha now? I mean, we've had like puppets, like the puppet spiders, which is not quite the same level as mecha, but whatever. The elves seem very sci-fi. I wonder if that is. I wonder if that is the reincarnations effect. Because why else would the elves think of these, like, very typical looking mecha? Like, I would feel like if in this universe they tried to make something that was like an autonomous soldier that didn't have someone in it, they would make it resemble what they know. So either an animal shape or a human shape. But we'll see. Alright, Hugo versus Shun. Fluid animation, actually. Sound effects are still a little light, but the actual fighting there was decent. I mean, that was kind of to be expected, right? It's a weird shot. Jinx? Dragon power? Okay. I mean, that's a cool shot, but How do you allow him to reach for his sword like that? I mean, still. What's with the weird blur effect that was covering most of that? Like, what is with the weird blur effect on this? Guess it's meant to infer speed, but it really doesn't. These camera angles, though. Oh, the frame rate's gone again. Hmm. I mean, yeah. Yeah. There he is. There he is. There's our butler boy. There's our butler boy. Okay. I'm so curious about how that happens. Fourth Demon Army Corps. I'm so curious how we go from butler to fourth army leader. Mm-hmm. But they still don't know exactly why they're in the elves. Yeah. I mean, what else were you going to be useful for, really? uh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Slanging into DMs like. Yep. Oh, baby. Is this how he dies? Oh, he got knocked out anyway. There he is. Okay. Nice, okay. Okay. Of course. Was there even a string on that bow? I guess it's magic arrows, maybe. Yep. Time to bust out the AoE skills. Yep. Classic. Yeah. I mean, I guess he would be loyal to her, so I'm curious how they all end up in it. Whoa. Oh, they committed a sin. They committed the sin. Oh, they're overly committing the sin. Jesus Christ. What's that random slash sound effect out of nowhere? Yep. Not that easy. Okay, there's the string. Hmm. Why did we aim for the weapon? No killing reincarnations. Alright. Okay, that was. Hmm. Well, yeah. Or him for that matter. Well, she is wielding that sword with one hand. No, you don't. Yep. Oh, yeah. I love Confident Sophia. Okay, they have a plan. Just wipe out the elves. Committing the sin again. Mentioning her a lot. Oh, hello. Is that a buff spell or just an earthquake to knock her off balance? Actually gonna take a hit? That audio cut was terrible. Mm-hmm. Committing the sin again. Okay, Faye's now stepping in. Offering surrender. Hmm. Bargain. True. I mean, yeah. Hmm. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Hmm. There he goes. No. You're just gonna die for nothing. I mean, you have. Don't you realize, like, this is still a distraction? Like, literally explain the whole goals of everything that's going on. She's literally gonna leave you alone and let you fight the main plan. Like, not the smartest kid. No, I guess we're fighting. Oh. Jesus. Jesus. one of our missing ones? Oh shit. Oh, what was your name? Kyoya, there we go. Okay. So is that everyone accounted for now, or we still got one more? I can't remember. I think that's everyone, though. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. As if it was just as simple as that. Hmm. Hmm. Oka Sensei secrets, maybe. Elves are a threat to the world. I mean, is it because of the mecha stuff that they've got? Hmm. Wrath, okay. Hmm. Oh boy, more troops. Yeah. Hmm. It's a good question. What is going on? Whoa. Yep. So the elves are coming to. Yeah. I mean, you had this opportunity, and then your own ego kind of got in the way there. Whoa, easy. No, it's gonna do nothing. Oh, yes. Oh, and some of them just straight disappear. What was that animation? Oh god. Gloria. Oh, they're called Glorias. Okay, interesting. Straight mechs. Oh god. Oh god. Possibly, but they're mechanical. They're probably ill-suited for her. Hmm. And where did they get the idea for these? Yeah. Hmm. It's not going to do that much, though, I don't think. Hmm. Weird episode. Very weird episode. We do have a post-credit scene, so we'll stick around to see what that is. Yeah, so we don't know the full truth of the elves. I think Potamus is up to some shady shit. The only reason he'd know to make these machines or have the idea behind these types of machines is because of the reincarnations. So I'm wondering how they got that sort of information. Because knowing something exists is one thing. Like, I know, like, supercomputers exist. I know tanks exist. I'm very aware of tanks and planes and ships and stuff that exist. Doesn't mean I'm just going to be able to go and make one, does it? So, like, we knew that Germany had Tigers and Tiger 2s. Doesn't mean we could just look at one and make one ourselves. So how do we have, especially in this quantity of them, this many mechs? That's what I really want to know. But that's probably a Season 2 question at this rate. Alright. Post-credits. Demon Lord and White Girl. Just casually strolling. Oh, hello, mech. Okay. That's the first we've actually heard her speak. So I'm still a spider, so what? Okay. Okay, that's the first time we've actually heard her speak. Like, that's the first time we've actually heard the white girl speak. So, what I need to do is I need to find... That woman going to that fight is very interesting, because it means she's probably going to jump or bump into Shun and stuff, and that's going to be very interesting to see. Yeah, okay, so... Where was the episode that I'm thinking of? Let's see. It would have been someone early here. Yes, episode 20. Okay, we're going back to episode 20. Because my theory is, of course, that Kumiko becomes White Girl. That's my theory, just because of similarities and stuff. We know Body Brain is the Demon Lord, so it's entirely possible that once Body Brain has assimilated with Demon Lord, all the other parallel minds kind of go there with it, potentially. But I don't think that's going to be the case. So my theory is that she's white girl. That's the first time we've actually heard her speak. So I'm gonna, and in we hear Kumiko's monologue voice mostly, but in episode 20 when she was talking with Gilly Gilly, I think it's episode 20, right? Where's the Gilly Gilly conversation? Yeah, here it is. She actually speaks out loud and has a very different vocal pattern. So I'm curious if those two speech patterns and those voices match up at all. Because if they do, I think we have a form of confirmation there. So, I just need to find the actual voice lines. Let's see if I can find it. No, I think this sounds like a different voice. Hang on. Let's hear again on the episode 23. Oh, okay. The cadence matches. The cadence kind of matches. There's a bit of an effect in episode 20 when she's doing it because it's still thought communication. It's not like she's speaking in a human form. Like, she's a spider. She doesn't have the ability to speak in human English, or Japanese in this case, obviously. So it's a lot more stylized in episode 20, but the kind of like the way they speak is quite similar. And I think it's very hard to tell. It's very hard to tell, but I think the girl in white is speaking with Aoyuki's voice. Or at least very close. I don't know if the girl in white has a listed VA yet. And at the moment, I don't want to look either. But I could... In my mind, I can hear Aoyuki in that performance. It's very different to what you'd normally expect from her. Especially since we've had such the high-octane energy of her through most of this series. But I can see similarities in cadence between her voice in episode 20 and currently in 23. So I think that theory is becoming more and more and more and more likely. And next episode might be the final reveal of, hey, yes, I am such and such reincarnation. That seems likely anyway. I guess we'll see, though. One more episode left, and then we are complete. Yeah, Potimus is doing something shady. How he has these mechs, how he has seemingly their weapon technology is very, very interesting. Shun's an idiot, but I think we know that. Male MCs are always idiots, mainly, for the most part, in these types of series. Like, he had a reason to leave Sophia and go focus on the main fight. He even admitted as such, this is the side fight, this is not the important fight, but he still wants to do it because a hero never backs down. All this bollocks, right? But he had the opportunity to leave and go and deal with the actual threat. But apparently not. But yeah, they're saying it's weird that the reincarnations would side with the elves, and I think what the elves are doing and what the elves or have done, I think that has to be revealed next episode. Probably. Which might make Shun question what side he actually is on and what he's doing. They'll also give a little context as to why they think the elves are such a danger to the world. I think the mechs are because of the reincarnations. To what capacity, I don't know, but I think that's what Potimus has somehow managed. Because the elves' whole society seems very like sci-fi-ish, like, right? Because you have the door effects of what like sound like spaceship-like doors, right? You have like the CCTV walls, basically. You got these mechs that seem to have missile launchers on their backs and actual like cannons. It's like straight up out of a reincarnation. Like, the reincarnations are the only things that would know of this type of stuff. So There's a link to get all that there. I don't know how, though. But that just seems to be where my mind goes, so I guess we'll see. But Girl in White confronting potentially Shun is going to be very interesting to see how he reacts to being face to face with her. And knowing her power, is Shun really any stronger than Julius right now? No. But the orders are not to kill any reincarnations. So he won't die. Question is, how many others will die in the process? Guess we'll see. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one as per usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments what you thought of the episode. If the VA for the Girl in White has been revealed in, say, the credits or somewhere else, please don't tell me. Like, not even, like, I don't actually want to know, because I want to see the finale of the show first, because by that point we'll have a better understanding of what's going on. But I think it was Aoyuki in, like, a very muted form. I think. It might be a different VA, but it sounded very similar. But either way, I don't want to know, because, well, that would be a bit of a spoilerish, because I think the next episode might finally give us some information on that. So be very mindful about information like that, because normally I'm like, oh, is this the same VA? Is this not the same VA? But this time I don't want to know if it's the same VA, just in case. But leave your comments as per usual. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Spring 2020 lineup you can find here on the channel. Wrapping a bunch of shows up now. This weekend we wrap up another 2, I believe. Right? Yes? Yeah, we wrap up Vivi and we wrap up 86 as well. And then we wrap up Dragon on Monday. We wrap up anything else? Oh yeah, Slime and Saint will wrap up on Wednesday. Full Dive and Super Cup on Thursdays. I mean, so yeah, so a lot of shows ending next week. So we'll be getting prepped for next season. Thank you everyone for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.